All right, class?
Yes.
All right, how are you two doing today?
Good.
Welcome back to our mobile classroom. Yep, and we're continuing our lesson on our unit on exercise, and today's lesson is going to be about exercise for the whole body. Our objectives today are going to be identify the benefits of exercise for each body part. So there's 4 main parts we'll talk about. Demonstrate the importance of exercise for your heart, lungs, and bones, and to set goals for exercise for different parts of your body. So we talked about why exercise is important, right? Don't be too excited. Do you remember, Lauren, we talked about that?
Huh?
Do you remember talking about why exercise is important? Yes. Can you tell me one reason why it's important? Keep you strong. How about Pete? How about you? Good shape. All right. Great job. So what I have here is exercise keeps a person healthy and strong. It makes you feel good. Helps to keep you from getting sick or developing serious problems such as a heart attack. Right, stuff like that. Osteoporosis is another disease, right? Strong bones. We want to prevent that osteoporosis. So remember, we also talked about there's 3 types of main exercises we're going to focus on. Do we remember those 3? We talked about the types. 3 types. Bingo. Great job. Good job. Good job, Pete. All right, so there's that. Yeah, so strength, endurance, and flexibility. So being physically fit means you look good, you feel good, you have lots of energy for work and play. Can you remember how long you should exercise for every day? Hour, 60 minutes. Good job. Both of you did a great job. All right, so now what we're going to talk about is exercise for the whole body. So I've got a little bit of PowerPoint here. So bear with me here. So how exercise helps your heart. Alright, so get stronger, bigger, and pump more blood and improves your circulation. So when you get older, your circulatory system doesn't work as well, and what this does is it helps push oxygen through your body, right? That's how oxygen gets delivered throughout your body, is through your blood. That's its main goal, right? One of the main goals that it is. So what's good about this too is it prevents heart attack, heart disease, and stroke. Right? Hey, look at that. Got it all printed out for us here. Increase your blood flow, raise your oxygen level. And then we talked about this too, like when you're resting, your resting heart rate will lower, right? So your heart doesn't have to work as hard as when it's resting. It prevents heart disease, reduces risk for bad disease, right? So now we're going to talk about our bones. So how exercise benefits our bones. So increases our bone density, so you get thicker, stronger bones. Prevent osteoporosis. So that's a bone disease where you start losing bone mass and bone density. So you get weaker bones, you'll break bones easier, right? Maybe, we talked about the reason was to have good balance, and so you don't fall as easy. So if you had a little bit weaker bones, maybe if you fell, you might be more susceptible to breaking those bones, right? So our lungs, how that can help us, it increases your lung capacity. So makes your lungs bigger. It's more oxygen is available for your blood. And your body cells thrive from the extra oxygen. So how it helps our brain is increases blood flow to the brain, more oxygen. Hormones are produced that make a person more relaxed, so it helps relieve stress. Relieve stress, anxiety, and tension. And it'll help improve your self-esteem. So great job on that. So now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna write a little letter to Mr. Lazybones. Okay. So got the little letter here. You got the paper in front of you. And so what this is Mr. Lazybones wrote a letter to the editor of the Yakima Herald Republic. Have you guys ever heard of that? Yakima Herald Republic. So yeah, it's a little outdated. It's a newspaper, the local newspaper here in Yakima. I know everybody reads it online. I do not. So anyway, but what you can do is you can write a letter to the editor. And if it's an important one, they'll publish it in the newspaper. So did you know that? If you had a concern or if you wanted to address something to the community, you could write a letter to the editor of your newspaper. And And that's what Mr. Lazybones does. Okay, so he writes to the editor of our town's newspaper. What I want you to do is write him back. Okay, and what we're going to do is write why we think he's wrong, basically. So here's the editor. Here's the letter to the editor. Lauren, why don't you go ahead? Can you read that for me? Let's read it out loud for me.
Every time I look out my window.
I'll start there. Good job. That's good. That's good.
Dear editor, every time I look out my window, I see lots of people going for a jog. Don't they know that all that running can't hurt them? The lady next door has been going to exercise classes for many years. Last week she fell and hurt her knee. That proves that exercise is dangerous. I don't exercise and I feel fine. Signed, Larry Lazybones.
So, well, how about this? Let's start with this. Do you agree or disagree with Mr. Lazybones? You disagree? So he's saying exercise is dangerous because last week his neighbor fell and hurt her knee. So he's saying it's dangerous for you. So now what we need to do is we're going to write a letter back to the newspaper. And we're going to tell the editor why we think Mr. Lazybones is wrong and why we think exercise is really important to us. Sound good? You guys have any questions about what we're supposed to do? Any questions?
No.
That's a no. Okay. All right. Great job. Good job. Go ahead and work on that, and we'll talk about what's next when we're done.